Yo, what is up, guys? This is the Brick Dough here, and some pretty interesting news coming out here. We have the second round of crowdfunding. So, as you guys remember, this Bricklink Designer Program, we had the first round about, I want to say, 3 months ago. It was like summertime, and there was a bit of a fiasco around it. Essentially, a lot of them sold out super quick. There's people kind of demanding that they increase the production. I think it was originally 5,000, then bumped up. But it was kind of a fiasco. A lot of them sold out super quick, and it was also from a lot of flippers too. People suspected, considering the limit for the amount of sets you can get was like 5 or something. It was pretty high. So I wasn't even that big a surprise. I think from a lot of people within the community of like looking to flip that and stuff. I think when you have that few sets available, whatever is like 5,000, and having availability of 5 purchases for each of them, then it was just going to go really quick, and that's what happened. So it was a little bit of a fiasco, but overall, pretty interesting program. We knew that they're going to have another round as well. So here we have basically the next round, and so right now, we know the basically setup. The first 5 projects to reach 3,000 pre-orders will be produced as a limited edition set. I think there's 9 on this list, so top 5 that hit that pre-order amount of 3,000. Those are then going to be capped at, I believe, 10,000 each. So you're going to have to be pretty quick on this, I suspect, again, even though, like I said, it's going to be 10,000 rather than the original 5 in the first one. But I was pretty surprised basically by these sets and the price of them. And that's what I kind of want to talk about after going through each of these sets. All right, so first up here, we have the Mountain Windmill, $180. I just look at this and I just don't see $180. It's kind of just what it comes down to with this set, and this is kind of my feeling for quite a few of these. Some of them not so much, but quite a few of these I do feel that way. So $180, we don't know the piece count or anything, obviously, but it's just, I'm not sure if I see that. So it will be interesting to see, what other people's thoughts in this as sort of the days kind of unfold here, leading up to the pre-order purchasing. The modular Lego store, in my opinion, one of the better ones, $180. I honestly think this one's fairly priced. I mean, I think it's kind of like modular size, but a bit smaller. $180, not terrible, but not great. Is kind of my thought on that one there. But unique, and I think something that would be cool to have as a collection piece. Then we have the Seasons in Time calendar for $250. It's tough to say for this one, but I think since it's very like micro scale based, at least with all these sort of vignettes here of the seasons, I think it's a little bit pricey, but it'll be interesting to see. I think this could be one that has like a high piece count, but just because it's a lot of smaller pieces, I still don't think this one's a great deal for that $250. And I would be surprised if that one gets picked honestly as one of the top 5. I think the Lego store has a really good chance. The Windmill I think does too, but that one not so much. So my guess would be also to this retro bowling alley. This is my favorite here, $230. I've been hoping for a bowling alley for a lot of the Lego Ideas votes too, since I think we saw this one, the retro one, and then there was also one in the most recent vote as well that didn't get picked. So if I were to get any, it'd probably be this one. I'd be interested to see too what they do. I don't know, this one, it looks like there's a lot of pieces, basically. I think this one's actually fairly priced. I kind of forget for the retro bowling alley what the interior looks like, so that might change that up a little bit. But I think it's just kind of like an interesting kind of like one-of set that you might, want to have. Or I guess you can include it in your city as well. But to me, it's just cool colors, interesting design, and you can definitely tell it's a bowling alley, especially with like the pins out front. It just looks cool, like that retro design, basically. Okay, then we have this $280 Brick West Studios. So this is like the classic, like it's not a modular, but it kind of fits that a lot, the kind of deal. It kind of reminded me a little bit of the fishing store a little bit, but like I said, a little bit more skewed to the modulars, I think. But I remember this one being fairly popular when it was in the Lego Ideas 10,000 vote thing, but I think 280 is just it's just way too much for this. I think 200 would be fairly priced, or maybe 250. 280 just seems like a very specific price for something like this, and I'm having trouble seeing that, especially just, I don't know. When I look at these, some of these I just don't understand the price, so I'd like to see more stats about the pieces and whatnot, but I think the best way to do it, honestly, is just seeing, like, if you looked at that, would you be happy spending $280 on that? And for me personally, like I said, for a lot of these, including that one, I wouldn't be. We have this ruined house. This one's kind of cool, but for $300, and this one actually I think might be a little bit more worth it for $300. It does look like it's very detailed here, and a lot of this sort of greebling and whatnot, but it's like you're just gonna pay $300 for a ruined house. This one I don't see at all having a chance, but it could be wrong. It's just one of those things. Yeah, it's just like I just don't see many people buying this for $300. Then we have the Clockwork Aquarium for $65. That's all I'm gonna say. I mean, $65 for that. That's just tough to justify in my opinion. I don't see that at all. I don't know. This one I don't think is gonna get picked either, but I could be wrong. Quest Builder, $260. I don't even know what to say about this one. This is just a really random set. I don't think this one really has a chance to get to be one of the top 5. I think there'll be a couple of people really into this sort of kind of crazy looking design, but I think for the most part, most people are going to be not really interested in that. Then we have Science Adventures. Also, I don't see this one really getting through. It just seems kind of basic, to be honest, and almost like a creator set or something. It just doesn't seem that intriguing in general, as far as like, oh, this is like a Lego ideas that didn't get selected, and I really want, it just seems too basic basically to get picked. So there we have it. We have the 9 right there. If I had to pick which one of these 5, let's see here, that I think are going to basically be the top 5 that reach that 3,000 pre-orders and end up being produced, I think the Windmill, the Lego Store, the Retro Bowling Alley, those would be like my top 3. After that, it's gonna be tough to say. I do think the Bricklink Studios will too. I put that at 4 just because I think there was a lot of hype around that when it was in Lego Ideas, and then I do think maybe the Clockwork Aquarium. I think, although I don't think $65 is a good deal, since there's so many over that really expensive price point of like it's probably seven of them like well into the $100 $180 plus kind of mark. So because of that, I do think, even though the aquarium in my opinion doesn't seem like it's worth $65, or I don't really enjoy it a whole lot, I do think that might be one that gets picked as well. So if I had to pick 5, Clockwork Aquarium, Bricklink Studios, Retro Bowling Alley, Modular Lego Store, and the Mountain Windmill. So it'll be interesting to see which ones end up getting 3,000 votes. It'll also be interesting, not 3,000 votes, 3,000 pre-orders first. In general, too, I think prices, like I said, a little bit higher than I would expect. And then I think the third point, it will be interesting to see how quick these sell out in comparison to the first round. Will this be a lot of scalpers trying to get these and things like that? Interested just to see how all this goes down. I feel like there was just a lot of just things going crazy last time. So yeah, anyways, pretty interesting here. We have the second round coming up. Let me know what you guys are planning on pre-ordering, if you're planning on pre-ordering any. But yeah, until next time, guys, this is the Brick Dough signing off. Thanks for watching.